Hi, and welcome to yet another edition of Ask Miss Judes. You know I always check on you, don't you? Right? So how are you doing? I really mean, how are you? I ask because sometimes we just keep going without paying attention to the authentic us that we are. So I hope that by just checking in today, you're going to take some time to have the conversation with yourself and how you're doing. And I pray that you're doing great. And if not, I pray you find the resources to help put yourself on track. As always, I want to thank you for your love and support in sharing the videos amongst your family and friends, and I trust that you'll continue to do that. Today, I thought I'll just talk very briefly on what I've captioned Your body is speaking, but are you listening? I say that because recently there have been quite a few friends who've either made their exit suddenly or received diagnosis at a time when it was really difficult for any intervention to be meaningfully applied. And because we live in a really fast-paced world that demands so much of us, I find that God has already wired us with instincts in our system. So, and that's what I say, your body speaks. So, for example, how many times have you heard someone say, oh, this morning, yeah, I kind of felt a bit off, but I didn't pay much attention. And then later we found out that that was a big mistake not to pay attention. And it ranges from such complications to simple things like you finish eating and somehow your body just refuses to get up. Maybe you have overeaten. Maybe you have eaten the wrong food. And I say that because a lot of what we are contending with in today's life could be avoided if we just paid attention to what our body says to us. So in the same way like that someone who has an allergy would react when they take something that contains that allergy, our bodies tell us when we are eating the wrong foods. So I have cheese allergy. Luckily, I discovered it early enough, so I'm mostly able to avoid it. But there was a situation many years ago when I ate what I thought was chocolate cake, and it turned out that it was chocolate cheesecake. I didn't know. I thought it was a regular chocolate cake. Now, it was when I ended up in hospital that night that we started kind of going back to say, what is it that you ate? And it turned out that it was cheesecake. I didn't know. And there are times where you eat and you feel, something is off. If you take time to look at what you ate and begin to eliminate some of those foods, you will realize that a healthier version of you turns up. And because this is personal, it will not be the same food for every one of us. It requires that we take the time to pay attention. So recently, I'm going to bring Kenya into this again. I was in Kenya for a few weeks on a project, and I realized I ate a lot of fish from the lake. And in those 10 days, 2 weeks and a bit that I was there, I realized I really actually felt good. Occasionally I had some challenge, but I think that had to do with jet lag. And I came back and when I ate meat, I felt like a heaviness. No, because my palate kind of likes meat, I still eat it every so often, but I realized that maybe it's not optimal for me to eat meat, but I do want a variety every now and then. For some people, it's more serious. I have friends who, after consuming certain foods, will literally be unable to walk. And I'm just saying, if we will pay attention enough to our bodies, it speaks. When we're tired, you rest. I remember the first time I got married and got pregnant, my first child, and I was a go, go, go person, and I was feeling really frustrated that I couldn't just do everything I wanted. And my mother gave me a piece of advice which ended up guiding me through my 3 pregnancies. She said, this baby inside of you will dictate what you do in the next few months. And your body will tell you what you need. When you're tired, you rest. When you're hungry, you eat. When you're thirsty, you drink water. If you fight any of those things, you will struggle. And that has guided me a lot. Having said that, recently when I'm under stress at work, I don't remember to respect my body. So you will find that in the middle of a really important meeting, you're yawning or your body is saying, I'm really tired. Why? Because you haven't slept well for weeks. So your body will warn you. I believe, especially now that I'm over 60, that I'm going to be paying a lot more attention to my body, because it is the regulator that God has given to us to manage our lives and live optimally. So if you're like me, I want to encourage you to begin to pay attention to your body. The signals that you get, don't ignore. Sometimes they are really the beginnings of serious conditions that will be better managed if you just accept. I want to send a special message to the men in my life. My husband, my brothers, my sons, my friends. I think men usually, I don't know if they don't like doctors or they're afraid of what they might hear, generally don't like going to the doctors. But please, if your body tells you something, don't ignore it. I pray by the grace of God that if Jesus tarries, every one of us will be here long enough, healthy enough, joyful enough to enjoy life as God gives it. But if He gives you those signals and you ignore it, you might be doing that to your own peril. Let's add to the numbers of those who are celebrated in their lifetimes for the joy that they bring to others, than that we have to sit and reminisce and wish that we had done better if we knew better. You know now, so do what is right for you. When your body speaks, listen. If it gives you signals, follow them. By the grace of God, my desire for you is that you live a healthy, long, happy life. As always, I'm going to ask you to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you have people who are ignoring what's happening to their bodies. I really, really wish that we would take this as a reconnecting ability to find ourselves again and enjoy life. God bless you. Take care of yourself. If you would not leave a comment at the comment section, feel free to send an email to askmissjudes@gmail.com. So that's ASKMZJUDZ. I look forward to coming your way again real soon.